Hooray! Good evening, everyone. So good to see you again. And this is the second lesson for Animated Hebrew. I heard of last time that I was too intensive, so it will help to shorten the lesson until 1 hour. That's enough, or else it will be getting overload. What I wanted to do tonight, because the basis for Hebrew is first to understand all the letters and how to write them. If that basis is strong, you get already an enormous advantage in studying Hebrew. If you know how to write the letters, what the meaning are, and because we do this to get a better understanding from what the Bible tells us and how the Bible helps us to understand, to see the depths that are in words, and it's just the basis. And the letters are we won't discuss in depth all the hidden meanings of letters or the mystical meanings or what's going on behind the curtain. This is a Hebrew course, so we learn how to write and understand Hebrew, how to parse, that is on later, a sentence. So we know this is what is being meant by a word, so you can understand better the language. So I hope you have all been ready to prepared for the lesson. So what way we're going to do is to use this chart with all the examples how to write the letters. And what I want to do in this hour is to start just with Aleph and then continue through the letters and say something about them. But in the end, you will have a table that will look something like this. And I hope you can see this. This is the Aleph. This is the way how it's transformed. This is how you write out the word Aleph and what the meaning is. So we will do this. I will show you in a moment. But I do it on two sides of the paper, but you can find out how much room you need. If you have this scrap paper, please use that. So if you are ready and you have this printed out, that's okay. If not, we will help you. So try to write within the square of your letter. So I do one example here. This is a square, hopefully. So when you write the Aleph, thicker. When you write the Aleph, you do it like this. You see? And when you write the base, make a square first. Try to make a square. And you have the base. Oh. And remember, you see this little point behind, it's important to have it behind. This little end behind the letter is important. You need to have that here. If you don't have that letter, you will have a letter like this. And that is a different letter. This is the kaf. And so this is the kaf. And this is the beit. So it's important to have this little end at the back of the letter and the way you write it on the paper. So we start with Aleph. I go to the next paper. We start with Aleph, and you first have, you make a column. Oh, sorry. A little bit thinner. You start with the letter. So we get the Aleph. Then you have the transcription, or how to transform it. And it's a comma that goes that way. It's a comma that goes that way. And the next column is the gematria. That's the value in numbers and the value for Aleph is 1. Yeah? So then the next column is the name of the letter. And we write it in Hebrew. So there's your exercise. We will later learn what these dots means and these T's below. So the name is Aleph. And you write it out as Aleph. And you can also learn what the gematria of the letter's name is. So what you have, that's something for homework, I think. So what you have to do is to calculate the number of the letter Aleph, the letter Lamit, and the letter P, and add them over here. So you have then 2 gematria numbers. One is for, that's here, for the letter itself, that's this letter, and you have the gematria for the name of the letter. And you get it over here. Well, I can do the first one. So it's, I help you, the Aleph is 1. The Lamet is how much? Anybody? Oh, you can't see me. I can't see you. Sorry. The Lamet is 30. And how much is the Pay? That's 80. So what we get, 1 plus 30 plus 80 is 111. And that's also very interesting. But if you want to know more about this, go to the Hebrew letters. So this is what we're going to do today. We first have the letter, how to write it. Then you have how to transcribe it. It's a comma that goes from left to right to left again. The gematria of the number. The name of the letter, Aleph. And the gematria. And I need to put an extra column in it. Because the next line will be much shorter, but the next line, it's also the meaning. Yeah. The meaning. So the meaning is an ox or the head. You need to put an extra column over there. Okay, this was the first one. Now we go to the bait. Let's do this better. To write the bait, you start top left in your square, go right, go down, and then go right. And remember, you need the space behind the letter. You need this end, or else it's gonna be a kaf. And the letter has, of course, the normal one has a dot in it. How do you transcribe it? Well, that's simple. It's just a B. The gematria of the letter is the number 2. How do you write the name of the letter? Like this. And this is the letter Tav. We will learn it, but oh. How do you spell that? It's a B. Then it's an E with this on top and a T with a line under it. Because as you might notice, as you can see, there is no dot in here. Meaning of the letter Beit is house. And the number, the gematria number of the name of the letter, I will help you, is 2 for the Beit, 10, and 400. So you get 412 as the number for the name of the letter Beit. Okay. If you want to say something or to ask something, please raise your hand. And that might do the trick. Okay. The next letter. Oh. It's the letter Gimel. And it starts on top, goes down like this, something like this, a Gimel. I can try to do it better, but oh, the Gimel. Try to write on my iPad, it's always difficult. That's a better one, the Gimel. And we put a dot in it, and the dot was called the Dagesh Lene, or the weak Dagesh. And you transcribe it as a G. The number of the letter is 3, the gematria. How do you spell the name in Hebrew? It goes like this for the G. Then you have the I, the Mem. We all get to this letter separately, but and the Lamit. I forgot to put 3 dots over here. And you write that as Gimel, like this. And the meaning of Gimel is camel, of camel, dromedaris, whatever. Now I'll get you this one for free also. The gematria for the letter is 3 plus 10 plus 40 plus 30. It's 83. So this is what we're going to do tonight, to look, just to learn how to write the letters one by one, to understand the value of the letter, to understand how you transcribe the letter, and to understand the name of the letter and what the value of that letter is. I can make it complete, so I make another line. For debate, and that's only, yeah, it's difficult for me now, but I try it. Debate, you know that we have debate with two ways. This is debate without the dot, and you transcribe it as a B with a line under it, understriped, I don't know how you call it in English. And the same is true for the Gimel. The Gimel without the Dageslene is a G with a line under it. So, any questions? How did I do that? Anybody has a question? You can unmute yourself if you have a question.
Ronald?
Ja?
Die streep onder zo'n letter, betekent dat dat die dan zachter klinkt?
Ja. We will, that's correct. The question is, if there is a line underneath the letter, it's transcribed as a B with a line under it, but you pronounce it as a V. Oh, sorry. As a V. Like the word van, you have the V in it. Of van in Nederlands. You find this letter in the name Avraham, and as you might know that in the translations, we speak out Abraham, we make it a hard B. But in Hebrew, there is no Dagesh Lene in the letter B. So it actually should be pronounced as Avraham and not Abraham, Abraham. It's not a hard B, but a soft V. We go to the next. Let's see here, that one. That is the letter Dalet. You start at the, when you have your square, oh. When you have your square. You write your letter from top left and then down. And this is the dot in it. So you have the letter Dalet. It's just written like this. You go first from... Oh, kan ik een zoom krijgen? Ah, It's the same as last key. Oh, wait a minute. I have to go back a little bit. Sorry, guys, somebody's asking the Zoom connection. So this is the way how you write the letter Dalet. And you have also the letter Dalet without the Dagesh Lene. So with the Dagesh Lene, it's written as a D. And without a Dagesh Lene, it is written as a D with a line under it. There is almost no difference in pronunciation between the letter with a Dagesh Lene and without a Dagesh Lene. So they're both the same. So the number, the gematria number for the Dalet is 4. And you write it like this in Hebrew, the name of the letter. It's a D, a Dalet. We will all learn what these little symbols under the letters are. You have the Lamit, and you have the Taf. And you write this as Dalet. Like this. The meaning of Dalet is door, and even better, it is an open door. And the numbers of the name of the letter, that is 4 plus 30 plus 400. So we get 434. Next letter is the letter He. Make a square first so you can understand. And the letter He is written. First you start at top left corner, go down, and then you go down here. And this is important, that this area is open. There should be a hole over here. And you write this from, you start in the top left corner, go right and down, and then you go down here. This is the H. And the gematria of this letter is 5. You write the letter like this, the name of the letter, only 2 dots, and an aleph. He. the H, and a comma. Hey. The meaning is also a door, but a door with hinges. So this door can be closed and it can be opened. The gematria of the name of the letter is 5 plus 1 is 6. And go to the next letter. That's the letter Vav. It's something like this. Very simple letter. When it's transcribed, you don't say the V from van, but a W. So when you see a W, it's for the letter Vav. And if you pronounce it like this, it's also like you pronounce a we, from we, a Vav. The number of the letter is 6. And the name of the letter is written like this, with 2 Vavs. That's interesting. So how do you transcribe that? Vav. And the meaning of the Vav is a hook. The gematria of the name of the letter is 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, these are the first 6 letters. Can you still hear me? I hope you can hear me. Check. Hello? Yeah. No questions? Then we go on with the 7th letter. The 7th letter is the letter Zayin. First make a square so you can know how to write it. It's kind of in the middle of the square. So it's like this. And then go down. You see the difference between the Vav, that you have 2 lines. The Vav is 1 line, but the Zayin is 2. So you have this line, and then you go down. The line is not very straight because I'm writing with my pencil on my iPad, so it's a little bit difficult to do, but you manage on paper. So the Zayin is different from the Vav because the Vav is one stroke like this, but the Zayin is definitely 2 strokes like this. The number of the Zayin, first how to write it. It's just a Z, a Z. And the number is 7. The Hebrew name for the letter starts, of course, with a Zayin, like this. Then a Yud for the I, and the final Nun. So when you write that, you get like this. Zayin. The meaning is a sword, a zwaard, or a weapon, a wapen. The number of the Hebrew name of the letter is, and I do this again for you for free, 7 plus 10 plus 50. So that's 67. Ta-da. Now we're getting there. We go to the next letter, that's the letter Chet. First make the square, so you can understand how to write it inside the square. Start at the top left corner, go right, go down, and now important, it's closed. So you see now where the hay was open, this letter here is closed. The Chet is written like an H with a dot underneath it. And the gematria of the letter is 8. When you write the letter in the name of the letter in Hebrew, you get Chet, and a Yud, and then a Taf. And now you can see why it is important to write very secure, because this is the letter Chet, and you can see that the letter Taf is almost the same as the letter Chet, only this part is different. That's why you need to learn how to write secure when you do your letters, if you want to write in Hebrew, because this is the letter Chet, and this is the letter Taf, so they're different. And it's in these small details, like this part only distinguishes the letter Chet from the letter Tet. And again, there is no dot in it, so it's a soft T. How do we write that name? So it's the H with a dot underneath it. It's an E with a rooftop on it, a dakje. And it's the T with a line under it. The meaning is serpent or closed door. The number of the name is 8 plus 10 is 18 and 400. So it's 418. That's the gematria of the Hebrew letter Chet.
Ronald?
Ja?
Het boek zegt dat het fens is. En dat serpent,
What?
de volgende letter, tet, is serpent.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Was controlevraag.
Look how easy.
Hè?
I was already thinking it's a fence or a closed door. A fence. Sorry. You're right. Somebody's paying attention. Hallelujah. Okay, thank you. Now we go to the letter Tet. The letter Tet starts at the right. You go up, you go down, you go left, you go up. That's the letter Tet. That's how I use this practice page. So this is the way I write my letter Tet. There are different ways, but this is how I do it. And the letter Tet is transcribed with a T and a dot beneath it. The gematria is 9. And when you write it in Hebrew, the name of the letter, like this, 2 dots beneath it, and the Yud, and the Taf. So now it gets interesting. You got a T with a dot beneath it, an E with a small roof, and a T with a line beneath it. So we do this so slow because you need to understand that this letter, the Tet, is written like a T with a dot, and this letter is the Taf, is written like the T with a line under it. And in the end of the chapter, there are exercises where they have all different kinds of T's, and you need to distinguish them from themselves. So now we get to the serpent. It's the serpent. And the gematria for the letter Tet is 9, plus 10 is 19, plus Taf is 419. Any questions? No questions? Then we go.
Jawel, ik dacht dat Tet baarmoeder was.
I have to check that. I heard that also, yes. I need to check that. There's sometimes some letters have different meanings, but I can't do it now on my computer because that will get a lot of trouble. But keep it in mind, please. When we finished all the letters, then we check that out.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all. The next letter, the square, is the letter Yud. Is the smallest letter of them all. It's like this. Very simple. The letter Yud is transcribed as the letter Y, not the J, because there was no J. There is no J in Hebrew. And as you might know, there is no J in the English language before 1600. The number of the letter Yud is 10. And it's no coincidence that the name Yud means hand and that we have 10 fingers on our hand. So most of us, if you have 12 fingers on your hand, we need to pray for you. Okay. How do you spell the Hebrew name for the letter Yud? That's the Yud, of course. Then we have the Vav. It starts the same as the Yud, but it is longer. That's why you need to be secure when you write it, because the Yud is short and the Vav is long. It goes all the way to the bottom of the square. And you put the dot above it, and then you have the letter Dalet as the final letter, like this. And you write it as a Yud, an O with an accent, and a D with a line under it, because there is no Dagesh Lene There is no Dagesh Lene in the D, so there is a line under the D. The meaning is hand or forearm. And the gematria for the name of the letter is 10 plus 6 plus 4 is 20. The next one. It's the letter Kaf. Make our square. It's a very simple letter. That's the Kaf. It should be like that. And it has a Dagesh Lene in it. If you have the Kaf without the Dagesh Lene, you have a different pronunciation. The letter Kaf is hard, it's short, it stops, and it's written like a K. And without the Dagesh Lene, you transcribe it as a K with a line under it, and this is pronounced like the ch sound in Bach or Loch. It's a ch sound. Not difficult for Dutchies, but this is pronounced like a K, and this is pronounced like a ch. The gematria of the letter is 20. And you write it, the name of the letter is like this. That's the Kaf. And this is the final Pe without a dot. So it's a klank, like flute.
Komt er geen A?
Oh yeah. I missed the betach. So the Kaf is spelled in Latin language, the K, the A, and the final Pe is written like this, Kaf. And it means the palm of the hand. The number for the name is 20 plus 80 is 100. Any questions? We made it halfway. Hooray. So I'm going to speed up a little bit. The Lamit. I need to do this. No, this one. The Lamit. Lamit is a letter that goes outside the box. Wait a minute. I hope this works better. Lamit goes something like this. Dit is de Lamit. And you transcribe it as an L. The number is 30. And the name of the letter is like this. And there's a little half triangle over there, but that is for pronunciation. We learn that later. Lamit, and you write it like L M E D with a line under it. The meaning is ox, goat, and the number is 30 plus 40 is 70 plus 4 is 74.
Ronald,
Ja,
waarom heb jij een streepje daarbovenop zitten?
boven welke letter?
Over de Lamit.
Ja, maar welk streepje bedoel je?
Links bovenin, er zit een streepje. Normaal in de dingen is die recht.
Oké, ja. Je bedoelt dit streepje. Hier zo.
Ja, die ja.
Ja, dat doe ik soms. Omdat het soms in de drukletters soms te zien is. Is niet nodig. Goed opgemerkt.
Ronald, wat is een
Wat zeg je?
Wat is een oxgoat?
Oxgoat. Ja, ik noem het prikstok. Het is een staf. Het is een staf. Hoor je dat? Was jij dat, Niels?
Nee, dat was ik, Donald.
Oh, oké. The next letter is the mem. And I write it like this. And this is a letter that has a different end form. And the different end form is like this. I forgot to do that with the kaf, so I go back something. But it's a little bit smaller because I don't have space. It's the M. The number is 40. The Hebrew name, and there you can see the difference. This is the normal mem. And this is the final mem. At the end of the word, the mem changes its form into a square. And as you might see, very important, this little bit is not closed, it's a little bit open. You transcribe the name of the letter mem like this. And it means water. And the gematria of the name is 80. And when I go back one, the final kaf, I put it in here. The final kaf is like this. And it goes beyond. That's the final kaf. We go to the noon. I don't draw the square box, so I get to the noon. It's like this, small letter, and it's spelled like N, and the final letter is like this, and it is long. And you might notice, important, when you put the square around it, it goes below the square. If you don't do that, you have a vav. Letter nun has a gematria of... Excuse me?
It's the same letter as before, the kaf, the end kaf.
Nope. No, I will show you in the same box. You have seen it correctly, but this is the final kaf. See the difference?
Bovenstreepje is iets langer.
Ah, very good. This one at the kaf is bigger than at the final noon. We can leave it up here. This is the noon, and this is the kaf. In the next lesson, we will show less letters that look similar but are different. You have letters that look very similar, and you have letters that sound similar, and there is a difference, but that we will continue. We're now in the business of trying to write them correctly, but you have well noticed that it's almost like the same letter as a letter noon. You can also see that on your practice page, where the final noon is in the middle of the square, and the final kaf is at the right side of the square. So this is not a noon. That's the kaf. The gematria of the noon is 50. You write it like this, noon. That's the N, the vav, and the final noon. Noon, it means fish. And the gematria of the name of the Hebrew letter is 50 plus 6 plus 50 is 106. The Samech. We're almost there, guys. Square. You can write it like this. Oh. I do it again because it was a little bit wibbly. Like this, that's better. Because you need to have this part, this little line at the side. The Samech is just a simple S. The gematria of the Samech is 60. The Hebrew name for Samech is, of course, the Samech, the Mem. And the final Kaf. These are 3 dots, it's better. Samech. and it's with CH. Samech. Oh, sorry. That's how you pronounce it. If I want to do it correctly, it's the K with the line under it. Samech. That means support. And the number of the name is 60 plus 40 is 20 plus 20 is 120. The next one is the ayin. Huh?
Wat betekent het?
Support.
Oh,
Support.
Ik dacht een slang.
That's the yeah, I know. We have to check it out. I'm following the book now, so. But thank you. The ayin. It's written like this. And the ayin is not pronounced, so when you transcribe it, you get a comma that goes from right to left and then back. So it's a comma the other way around from the aleph. The number of ayin is 70. You write the name of the Hebrew letter like this. Oh, I forgot the A. And the final nun. And you write it, comma to the other side. Oh, comma. The yud. Ayin. And it means I. The gematria is 70 plus 10 is 80 plus 40 is 120.
Ronald?
Ja?
De ayin. Dat de letter voor de Star Trek vingers? Deze?
Ik versta je vraag niet, sorry.
Oh. De vingers van de Star Trek. Ja, de hand
Nee.
waarbij twee vingers aan
Nee,
beide
dat
kanten.
is niet de ayin.
Jammer. Die komt zeker nog.
Ja.
Ik heb ook een vraagje.
Ja?
Je zegt 120, maar dan schrijf ik 130.
Heb ik me verteld?
De nul.
70. Oh, sorry. Ja.
Oh,
Ik denk dat klopt al iets. Oh. Ja, de noen is 50 en geen 40. Thank you. Now we get the letter P. And we have two of them. Oh, dat is niet handig. Let's first do the P. The P starts at the top right corner. Goes down. And then like this. And a dot in the middle. You also have another letter P without a dot. Top left corner, go down. And it has no dot. So this is the letter P. And it's transcribed as a P. And this one is transcribed as a P like this. You pronounce it like P, but this is pronounced like an F or a sound, like photo. The gematria is 80, and you write the name of the letter like this, P, with a dot. And the hey at the end. P. The meaning is mouth. Oh. And the value of the name is 80 plus 5 is 85. There is ook a final letter P. And perhaps I can make it over here. Final letter P is like this. It goes beyond. This is with the dalet, with the dageslene, and this one goes also is without. So this is the final P. Next one. Almost there, guys. The tzade.
Ronald, mag ik dat vragen?
Ja?
De eind. De vorige keer geleerd dat die 800 eigenlijk.
Ik kan het niet goed verstaan.
De eindpijl hebben de vorige keer geleerd dat die 800 eigenlijk. Letterwaarde.
Dat die?
800.
Maar dat is een andere gematria. Dat
Oh.
klopt. Ja, daar heb ik het nog niet over. Ik heb het nu over de basisgetalswaarde.
Oké.
Now we go to the tzade. The tzade is written like this. Start in the top left corner, go down, and then go left, and go down. Tzadik, tzada, tzade. It is transcribed as an S with a dot underneath it. And it's pronounced like tz or tz. A little bit different, but this is the first letter of the name Zion. So you should, when you pronounce the word Zion, it should have been Zion with a TZ sound in it and not Sion with an S sound. Because you pronounce Tzadeh and Tzadik as with a TZ sound. The gematria of the Tzadeh is 90. And the name of the letter is like this, is of course beginning with the Tzadeh. That little thing above there is to show where the klemtoon ligt, where you put your first accent. Tzadeh, niet tzadeh, but tzadeh. That's what the meaning of that thing is. Dalet and the yud. Oh, a little bit bigger. And you pronounce it like this. The S with a dot underneath it. The D, because there is no dageslene. And the E with the rooftop. Tzadeh. It means fishing hook. And the number of the name of the letter is 90 plus 4 is 94 plus 10 is 104. The letter Kuf this letter is the only letter that in its normal form goes below the line. It goes outside of the box. You write it like this. The Kuf. And it's you transcribe it as a Q, but you pronounce it as a K sound. The value is 100. You write the name of the letter like this, Kuf, with the final F, the final P. The meaning is the back of the head. One of the meanings. So you have 100 plus 6 is 106, plus the pay is 80, 186. A simple letter to write. Is the resh. Transcribe it as an R. Very simple. The gematria of the resh is 200. The name is the R with the yud and the shin resh. And now beware, the shin, when you transcribe it, is transcribed like this. Resh. It means head. And the gematria is 200.
Bij zelf was toch 200?
Sorry. You're right. I was thinking about the resh. It's 210 plus 300 is 510. We got the letter shin. With the dot on the right side. You transcribe it like this.
Ronald, in het boek staat die precies andersom, die letters.
Yeah, I know, but I always say shin and sin. But if you want it the other way, if you make you more comfortable, we do it like this. And the other one, I hope I can find some space here. Goes the dot on the other side, and this one is transcribed as a S with an upside down roof on it. The gematria is 300 for both. Of course, this one is sin with a final nun, and this one is pronounced as shin. and you transcribe this one as sin, and this one as shin. The meanings are different. Sometimes it says tooth or fire. It's a letter of fire, and this is the letter that is used by Star Trek with your fingers. This is the letter shin. Oh, you can't see me. Okay, the gematria of the name of the letter is 300 plus 10 is 310 plus 50 is 360. And then we go to the final letter. That's the tough. This one has a darkish lene. And this one hasn't. It's better to do this like in one stroke, not two strokes like that. It's one stroke, like this. You pronounce it, or you transcribe it as a T, or a T with a line under it. The number is 400 in both cases. The name of the letter is Taf, or in this case, oh, I do it again. Taf. It's the T, Taf, or the T like this. Taf. It's the cross. And the number of the name is 406. Hooray! Oh, I forgot one, guys. Where is the one? Where is the one? I forgot one. Oh, my goodness. The final tzade. Oopsie poopsie. Where did I put it in? Let's put it in here. The final tzade. Make it a different color. So you understand the final tzade is like this. Final tzade. Yep. Let's save them. Ta-da. So. Well, any questions? Was it understandable? Not too quick? This is something we need to practice. It takes a lot of time to learn it, but once you get a hand of it, you also start to develop your own handwriting. And I'm now trying to follow this one again, so I go back to the basics. Oh yeah, but because I write out in Hebrew a lot, so then you develop your own handwriting and your own way of writing the letters. So I hope you have learned something today, and this is something we need to go over. But now you have your own sheet of paper, like I have, like this one, with all the letters and the names and the meanings on it. And this is something you use. At least I use this. Ik gebruik dit veel in order to learn it. So, if there are not any questions, then I will keep my promise and shut up within time. Are you happy?
Happy.
Yeah?
Happy.
Good.
Dankjewel. Dankjewel.
You're welcome. Well, see you guys next week. Some of you tomorrow, some others on Thursday, some others on Friday. Every day I have a Zoom meeting somewhere. Okay, guys. See you next time. Keep on practicing. And I will also make copies, that I said, I make copies of this book. And you could also go now to the end. Exercises. You should be able to do this exercise, 1.8. It's not a difficult exercise, but you may use your sheet of paper in order to find it. 1.8a. And I also will make copies of another book that I have where other exercises are written out. So you only learn this by writing out exercises. We need to develop our own handwriting in Hebrew. And because when you take time to write and invest time in it, then when you get a literal text, you can read it more easily. Ah, an ox goad is a stick. Thank you, Georgine. Thank you. Hooray. A prickstok, yeah. An ox goad is to push the ox forward. A prickstok, yeah. That's the role of the teacher. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Ronald.
See you next week again. Blessings.
Okay, doei.
Bye-bye. Oh yeah, this is the shin for somebody asking.
Ja.
This is the shin. You see it? Okay.
Dankjewel. Hoi.
The Zoom, Georgine, the Zoom is every time it's the same Zoom. For those who didn't hear that, the Zoom link of today is used every week. So if you there is a message up front in the group, and you can save that in your calendar, in your agenda, and then you can save it to your iMac agenda or for Windows agenda, and then the Zoom link is every week the same. Okay? Shalom to you. Bye-bye.